Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss. This is my review for Hunter x Hunter episode 101. Now, this one starts off with Icalgo again, telling Kahlua not to call him an octopus. He tries to escape with his gun thing. He shoots and gets pushed all the way back, thinking, he's going to escape, find a new host so that he can start shooting again, get more ammo for his gun. But Kahlua, like that, catches up to him. And it was funny too. He said, "Yo, we meet again." So that was pretty funny. Kahlua just catches Icalgo and is holding him over the water, and he's asking him, "Hey, why didn't you dive into the water to escape? Wouldn't you have the advantage there?" And he kind of was like, well, you see, and Kahlua was like, blood, right? If you went in there, your comrades would eat you, right? Yep. Yeah. So that was funny too. Um, Kahlua ends up offering him this deal where if Icalgo tells Kahlua about Flutter's powers and abilities, he'd let him live. And at this point, Icalgo, he starts trying to act cool. At first he's nervous, then he tries to act cool, saying, "Oh, I wish I was a squid, and when I'm reborn, I want to be a squid." Like, and he's just saying all this stuff, so that's actually pretty funny. Um, Kahlua ends up dropping in Calgo and letting him die, but then he ends up deciding to save him at the last second because he's a cool guy. So yeah, he saves Icalgo and throws him to safety, but then this fish jumps up and bites him. Kahlua turns on his assassin mode, kills the fish, but then this littler fish puts his badge on Kahlua and escapes. Now after that, we're introduced to the Ortho siblings. Now these two, you can tell from the thumbnail, these two, someone needs to get them a bag of chips because they think they are all that. I mean, really. These two are cocky. Kahlua was walking, and all of a sudden these fish pierce him, and he's like, "Whoa!" He hears this sound in his head. He hears the Orthos talking to him, and he's able to deduce that the fish are made of Nen. He walks up to the water, sees the reflection, figures out it's a dartboard, and the entire time, the Ortho brothers is cocky as all crap. I mean, dude, this guy, he thinks he's all that. Like, he thinks he must think he's the best Chimera ant in the world. I mean, Jesus, that cocky smile on his face, it's like ingrained into my brain with him in his hair. He doesn't even look that cool. But he ends up piercing Kahlua a couple times, mentioning the amount of points he's getting, which is a big hint to Kahlua later on. Ortho mentions that the shoulder's worth 54 points. I think he said the hand was worth 108. And he starts talking about the right elbow. He's giving Kahlua so many hints. I mean, I guess there aren't many people who would know the rules to darts that well, but dang, on the but Kahlua does, and he literally gave Kahlua the answer he was looking for. But we end up actually going to the Ortho siblings, and we learn about their ability to needle fish-did darts. And the sister creates a badge out of Nen. They place it on their target. The target, gets connected to the dart board that the brother creates, and then he'll throw the darts turn into fish and hit. The rest of this we already know from just by seeing. All right, so Kahlua is trying to figure out what exactly to do. He figures out that the limit is 3, and after 3 fish, they disappear, and then everything just starts over again. Um, an interesting tidbit is that the badge can't be deactivated until the end of the game. Then they also tell us the risks of the ability, but it's not really too important since the risks depend on Ortho missing, and he never misses. So yeah, I mean, I guess the risks plus all the conditions make their Nen ability strong and invincible. At least that's what they think. So I guess it's worth mentioning, but not really worth going into too much detail about. So the game ends up continuing. Kahlua loses a lot of blood. Ortho gets the final dart, hits Kahlua in the head. They think they've won. And, Japan, man. The sister was just all over this guy. I mean, come on. Japan and their incest. I mean, if it was Tatsuya Shiba and Miyuki Shiba, then I can understand. I mean, those two are perfect for each other, but these two, I mean, come on. Japan and their incest, man. That girl was all over him. Oh, man. That's gross. Sister and brother. Oh, my God. Let me just forget that for now. Let me try to get that image out of my head. They go check Kahlua's corpse, and we go to Gon and Meliorone. And Meliorone, he's trying to figure out why Gon just believed him all of a sudden, but the more he tries to figure it out, the more suspicious he looks. So he ends up giving up, but Gon ends up saying that that if Meliorone was in fact lying to him, it would actually make things easier for him because he would be able to fight him without any mercy. He'd just be able to take him out like that and not need to worry about holding back. So, and the look in his eyes, even Meliorone points it out. I mean, that was like the scene itself wasn't really that interesting. It's just that one scene of Gon in his eyes that made the scene for me. That was actually like before, like if that scene wasn't in there, I wouldn't have cared at all, to be honest. Just a little tidbit in there, but that other scene kind of shows how Pito has actually affected Gon and his mentality. But before he had trouble killing the one Chimera ant from a while ago when it was Gon, Kahlua, and Kite, and they were in the NGL underground area, and they went up against those 3 Chimera ants, and Gon, he didn't go all out against the female Chimera ant, I think it was, the female one. And he had to be saved because he let his guard down. But now he just doesn't care. He'll kill them. He does not care. So you can see how mentally he's changed thanks to P2 and the whole Kite situation. But we end up going back to Kahlua and the Orthos. They confirm that Kahlua's dead. They contact Flutter. Flutter leaves, tells them that they'll get a promotion, or at least he'll talk to Leol about getting them a promotion. They start celebrating, and Kahlua comes in, X-scissor to the head. He cuts both of their heads off, and they're just sitting there, still alive. To be honest, I don't know how long they're going to stay alive for, because those Chimera ants I was just talking about from NGL Underground, a couple of them got their heads cut off, I think, and they didn't stay alive for minutes and minutes and minutes. So maybe it's just the type of Chimera ants that they are. I don't know, but the last time we saw them, they were still alive. So for all we know, they could have contacted Flutter again and told him, hey, he's not actually dead. Don't leave yet. But that's I'm kind of getting ahead of myself now. Kahlua first he explains how it is that he survived. He talks about how he actually mastered darts at the age of 6 or 7. He knew exactly where the final dart would hit, so he converted his aura to electricity to quicken his reflexes. He grabbed it, broke off the needle, added the suction cup, stuck it back on, and played dead. Pretty much. That's pretty much what happens. Killua ends up walking off, but his body kind of starts to fail him and he collapses on the ground because of all the blood that he's lost. That's when Calgo comes in. Killua also mentions that he was close to finding a way to improve his power, so that means he's going to get a power-up soon. But that's in the future. Calgo saves him and he turns face. He becomes a good guy and he betrays the Chimera Ants, which is, just as predicted because of the ending. One little interesting tidbit is that even after all the times Calgo told Killua not to call him an octopus, he actually referred to himself as an octopus in his thoughts. So that's not really, nothing big, just a little interesting tidbit to add in there. But essentially, that's the end of the episode. Calgo says he's going to take Killua to a doctor to fix him up and save his life. So, I mean, Killua's the main character, so we know he's not going to die. But even in Hunter x Hunter, we know he's not going to die. So, though if anyone were going to kill off the main character, it'd be Togashi. But that's it for this episode. As far as my enjoyment goes, it was a 7.5 out of 10. Just because I've gotten used to Killua doing stuff like this and being impressive. But I'll give it an 8 out of 10, just because it was a good episode. Even if my enjoyment was half a point lower, it was pretty much an 8 out of 10. Togashi's really creative when it comes to abilities, including the needlefish to darts. So that was interesting. The way Killua solved it was beat them was interesting. Even if I've come to expect that much from him, that little scene with Gon, I like that. Yeah, So I guess it's a good episode of Hunter x Hunter. But that's it for now. This episode's an 8 out of 10. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. So one more thing that I forgot to mention. In the preview for the next episode, we see Netero, and it looks like he's powering up. So next episode, Netero might come into contact with Miriam, or maybe make it to the Royal Guard or something. So that's something to look forward to next week. But looks like we're going to see Netero and what he can really do, not just messing around with Killua and Gon, or messing around with some fodder Chimera Ants. So that's something to look forward to. But this time it really is it. So I'll see you guys next time.